Okay, so a lot of people were asking me about these butterfly cuffs that I made for EDC several years ago, and instead of drawing out all the instructions, I figured it probably would be less complicated if I just made a video. Um, my memory's terrible, so I always keep one on hand just in case. Luckily, I already had like some butterfly wing perlers that I made a few events ago that I'll be using for this video. And the most important thing is when you're doing this, make sure the bottom row of the perler has holes through it already, because you're going to be stringing a lot of stuff through there. You can use regular like stretch string, like this kind of shit, but the ones that I usually use is this, because it's a lot more heavy duty, holds better, and survives for like a couple years. Uh, so yeah, so I'm gonna move this so you can see what the hell I'm doing. Alright. So just like any cuff, you want to do like a 12 bead count. The 12 bead pertains to these green ones right here. And these are going to be the connector beads that you're going to be stringing shit through all the time. The black is just the base of, that. So once you have like 12 of them all strung up, the last one being the final connector, knot it off. And usually I like to do just one knot, pull, and then do a second knot to hold it together, like that. So lift this excess and just cut it. Now with this cord, I took hella out, so string it, and then take it through the next connector bead. So this green one right here. Pull it through. Oh, this is terrible. This is going to be a lot of string. So that the string is coming out of that one bead. So once you have that done, take the perlers, and string them together. So essentially what it'll look like is this. So that first string is going to come out of that connector green into the butterfly wings. And from there, just do the next color you want. I'm going to use a different green. So 3 colors. And then after you get those 3 down, just weave it through the next connector. Just like that. Then move on to the next one. Next connector, and you just keep doing this all the way through. See. Alright, so now you're at the last one that goes over to this one, and just put it through that gas connector bead. Okay, so it's on the last one. You've already brought it through. So the next trick is to get this through that first hole that's in there. This is why it's kind of important. These holes are really big. So bear with me. Sometimes it's easier just to use a needle and pull it all the way through. Yay, one hole. We'll get to the second one. Alright, so again, once you get to that last connector doing this first row, try to get it through that very bottom hole and through both purlers at the very tip, and then when you go through to the other side, go to your next connector bead, which would be these yellow ones that I'll be using, and start the next layer. So you would go through, god damn, this green one and out of the yellow one. So I'll be using these yellow clear ones, I think. No, I'm not. Maybe I am. Yeah, sure, why not? And gold. So when you come out of that yellow one, we go to the next yellow one. Okay, so again, when you get to back to the perler part and that last connector, sorry, my fingers are all in the way. Just pulled that one through. Okay, so you see how it's kind of set up like that so far? So technically, after this yellow bead, the next one is going to be the clear one. So let's just string that through. And because my connector for the next one is gold, Christ, I can't see shit here. Let's see. going to stick the next string into the third hole of the purler. But only one side. So once you're in there, the next one would have been the gold one. So in between the wings, you're going to put the connector bead in there. Like so. And then string it through the third hole of the next wing. As I told you, this shit was complicated. Alright. So when you come out the other side of the wing, what the inside should look like is this. So from the other side, just take the third bead in that pattern, which was the clear yellow one, and just go right on to the next bead, which would have been this yellow one right here. Alright. And since by now you're in the middle row, you want to take the string from that connector and then go into the middle connecting bead. In this case, it would be this gold one right here. You would do it through the next clear one. I don't know if you guys can see this, but so yeah. Because essentially right now, where you're at on this thing is the middle row. So because my middle bead row thing, whatever, is this gold one, I just repeat the pattern, except it's going to be this clear yellow and the connecting bead will be this brighter yellow. Okay, so the last connecting gold bead coming out like that. So I'm going to do the last set. So that would be the clear, yellow, clear. But instead of going into another bead, you're going to go through the purler again. It should be the one next to it. Go out the other side. Okay, so This side should look like this. And on the inside, you're going to go through that single gold bead, or whatever connecting bead you had. Just go through the third hole of the purler of the other wing. And already it should start holding it open like that. And from the other side, you just continue to the next connector bead from there. I really should have used different colors so you could see better. Well, next time. And this one would. So now you look kind of like this. So obviously from that connector, the gold bead, go to the next one. In this case it would be this brighter yellow one. God damn. So through the clear one, into the bright yellow. If you made cuffs before, this should be fairly easy to understand. But, okay, so it kind of looks like that. Can't tell you what the hell I'm showing you, so the next ones would be, just to kind of close it off, would be these clear green and this pearl green one. Okay, we're getting there. So now the cuff should kind of look like that. The wings might look like they're all in weird places, but you know, just ignore that. So now that you're at the last connecting bead before it hits the purlers, like that, you're going to take the next bead in the pattern. In this case, it's these clear green ones. Just one. And then you're going to string it through the top hole of the purler. So essentially it looks like that. Can't tell if I'm showing it right, like this one. And with the string still in between the wings, you're going to take 3 of the next bead, which would be the final connector from the base. In this case, it would be these green ones. So 3, 2, 3, and put that through the next wing. So it kind of looks like that. And then on the other side, since we already used And we only used one of the see-through, shiny, whatever, green ones. We're just going to use one of those. And connect it. Oh, these angles are terrible on this thing. So it ends up looking like that. The string coming out there. And then you just continue to the next one until you're all the way across. And of course, you want to come up, so go through the connector, the yellow one. You can see shit on there. From that yellow one, go through the shiny green. God, fuck. Ah, there we go. And that one. So this was the very first row connector that we used, right? So the rest of this should be easy. Since the base of that row is all black, you just need two of them. So two. Where the fuck is the string? Okay. So like that. Go through this one because that's the connecting one. And then just do this all the way across. All the way to the perler. That first top hole. And then make the string go through these three that are in between the wings. So it's through those, and then obviously you're gonna run the string through the next wing. So let's see. It's like that through the wing, not the bead. The middle should look like that. And then carry on your merry way. Just put that right there. I'll put next connector bead right here. Your two black beads. Okay, finally made it. Last one. Last connector. Black beads. So yeah, last connector, and this should be pretty easy. I mean, if you don't know what you're supposed to do, basically just getting tangled. Since it's in that last one, usually what I like to do is take it through the base of the beads that are already there. Oh shit. That. And then to the next connector that's in that little batch of beads. And then tighten it, and then knot it off. One knot. I usually like to do a double knot. Lightly knot it the first time, and then the second time tighter. And there you go. So let's see. And the cool thing is, like, depending on the person, how they're wearing it, it actually can widen the wings or open them, close them a little. Yeah. So, I hope that helped.